I was hoping she'd get to the point and she couldn't, and
She
I
couldn't
just,
get there.
I couldn't
She tried hard.
wait anymore.
Good, Robert? All right, call the meeting to order. Chris, will you call the roll, please?
Rob Brigham,
Yes.
Mike Hancock,
Yes.
Brett Eby,
Yes.
Laura Iverson,
Yes.
Alex Shada,
Yes.
Renee Philmeyer,
Yes.
Okay, stand and say the pledge. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, open meeting law. It's on the law. If there's questions, you can ask. Approval of the agenda. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second. Motion second. Discussion. Chris, would you call the roll, please?
Laura,
Yes.
Alex,
Yes.
Renee,
Yes.
Rob,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Brett,
Yes.
All right, so the only item on the agenda is to discuss, consider, and take necessary action to direct the superintendent and legal counsel to engage in negotiations with NCL Construction to serve as a construction manager at risk on the upcoming building project. Brandon or Brett or Renee?
Real quick, I'll start. Went through the process, had a committee as required by statute that was set forth ahead of time, put out 4 proposals in advance. We got 6 responses. Went through a process of narrowing it down using the set criteria that everybody had ahead of time. Narrowed it down to 3 to interview. We did that Wednesday night, interviewed 3 on Friday morning into the afternoon, and then as a group came to a decision to recommend to the board for MCL to serve as that CMR. And again, just in the rundown. I thought it was a good process. Probably any of the 6 that responded could have served. We had the luxury of having a lot of good choices and feel like landed on a really good one for us and MCL, who has worked for us in the business.
Does MCL stand for something?
It's 3 names.
Miles,
It's just
Carlisle, Myers, Carlisle,
And what, this discussion? So what were kind of some of the things that they did, what differentiated them?
So for me, Laura, I went in with the mindset of we have a lot to accomplish with limited funds. And so I wanted transparency and I wanted a really good partner to help us get as much as we possibly could for the best value. And I think MCL just came out, and it was honestly close, but I felt like they were going to meet our transparency goals, and their pre-construction services seemed really strong, and they come in with a spirit of partnership, I think. And the fact that they did the PLC for us, and we had a good experience, and they were motivated. You know, they're the one construction manager who said, we really want this job. And so all of those things taken together, I agree with Brandon. Honestly, I don't know that we could have gone wrong with any of the 3 that we interviewed on Friday. But for me, they were just a little bit ahead of everybody else.
I was definitely focused on pre-construction. That's in my simple brain. The pre-construction is what sets our budget, which is already a tight budget. The transparency was a second criteria that I focused on. But the third one was, I just, probably more so along with the transparency, commitment to this is what you have to start the project with as far as a construction team. And will that team stay in that group all the way through? And some of the other companies, they were worried you'd start with this group, and before too long, you would kind of split it off. And I wanted to make sure what we had is what we had going through. And I only thought there were 2 of the 3 interviews that I was comfortable with. Because I thought the third one, the transparency in the billing process, was probably going to be a little sketchy.
What do you guys mean, both of you guys, you keep saying transparency, what do you mean by that? Like they were forefront of what costs were gonna be, or?
So Mike, from my perspective, one of the benefits of the construction manager at risk, delivery method is doing it on a cost-plus basis. Just having done construction for 15 years, the way it's supposed to work is they show us their costs and then they give you a percentage markup, and that's what they charge.
Right.
I think a lot of companies in the industry generally accepts that they hide profits within those costs, so we spend a decent amount of time kind of drilling down on, we need to know what your profit number is. We can't have you hiding money in other places. And a couple of them struggled with that when we said, are you hiding money anywhere else? Tell us what your profit is. You deserve to make a fair profit, but we want you to commit that you don't have money hidden anywhere else. And I felt like MCL probably was the strongest in that category in terms of being willing to say, yeah, we'll show you the paychecks and we'll only charge you what we're actually paying our people versus we're going to charge you a set rate for our man hours. Well, that's not cost. You've got other profit shoved in there, so that means your profit percentage isn't what you say it is. That's what I mean by transparency, is show us what your true costs are and then mark it up by whatever you've committed to mark it up by, and don't hide money anywhere else that we can't see. Does that make sense?
One of the first got very frustrated with that question.
Did they give any indication, and this is just purely a curiosity question, the answer doesn't matter to me, I'm just curious, how much do they intend to self-perform versus sub out?
You know, all of them really just talked about carpentry.
So were you not there? Oh.
Brett and I were the only two school board members.
Oh, okay. Well, the committee, I didn't know if all three,
Yeah.
Joe's and BBH.
Mainly carpentry.
Most of it was carpentry and finish work.
Yeah.
Rough, carpentry, finished carpentry. I thought MCL could perform some flat work,
Oh, that's possible.
correct?
One of them did, I can't remember whether it was the second one or MCL.
Again, I thought it was just a curiosity question.
Not a
That was
ton
it.
of, not a ton of indication or preference to self-performance from any of them.
Did they have a fairly strong working relationship with BDH?
One and two did. Three, I don't know. I don't remember if the three
That's
did.
probably gonna be some cohesive working relationship with all of us.
I think so, we're going on, we're going to come together. right?
BBH was very supportive of MCL. Not to say they, again, we're not on board with any
Sure.
of the three, but it sounds like MCL and BBH do have a number of projects and they've had really good experience.
School projects or projects?
I believe school.
Some schools, some other projects.
That's cheaper.
I would say Graster is cheaper.
Yes, they're doing the Gretna project.
Is there any hesitancy at all with MCL or hands down?
The only hesitancy that came up was workload with Gretna going on currently. But that project was supposed to finish in June of 23, proposed finish date. And if everything comes to me going here, they should be able to work simultaneously with the finish of that. Start, they should be through most of the brunt of the load in Gretna by the time they start.
Do we know, when did they start right now? Curiosity.
Not off the top of my head.
So, I mean, what they're doing
In the
now
size of that
is what
project,
we
not
could
very long
potentially
ago, it's
do
a long ways
in
away.
months from now, so that we're not overlapping and we're not gonna overextend or something.
Yeah, I think, didn't they say they started site work this spring, and then they took the drone shot of where they're at now, which is, they have completed ball fields, they're all closed in on the main building. It's gone fairly quickly.
But they're different teams, right? So it's not like the Gretna team is going to transfer here. They could run simultaneously the whole way, and we will have a different team dedicated. That was probably my only, the one weakness I saw for MCL is the superintendent project manager team that they're putting on this. They both independently had a lot of years in the construction industry, but they have never worked together as a team. And ideally, you would have a project manager and a superintendent who know each other and know how to work together seamlessly. These two did not have that.
But they're transparent about it.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, it isn't like you've got a new construction manager grad coming in out of school who hasn't done this. I think they were in the neighborhood of 26 years in the construction industry, so they know what they're doing. I just would have liked them to have worked together on a project previously, but they just haven't.
Was the MCO one of the, I guess those two terms, the superintendent or one of them came and actually came earlier?
Yeah, I think both the superintendent and project manager both were on the early site visit to see if they were going to propose.
Any of the people still around that worked on the PLC that were involved with it?
We didn't take into that.
I'm just curious, yeah. But they still have a lot of our stuff, I would assume, they're probably pretty comfortable with it.
I know that project going well.
It was on a lot smaller scale. But still local.
Well, is there not that we have to end discussion, but is there a motion to approve the directing of the superintendent legal counsel to engage in negotiations with NCL, the construction manager risk position on the upcoming building project?
So
Second.
Renee and Brett? Further discussion?
yeah, anything else we can answer for you? I think we feel good about it.
I've been thrilled with BBH and obviously trust you guys in this BBH and seem to lead us astray. In fact, they probably led us in a straight line more than they needed to. So I think that's great.
Appreciate the work that you all have done. If no other questions or comments, Chris, would you call the roll, please?
Renee,
Yes.
Rob,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Brett,
Yes.
Laura,
Yes.
Alex.
Yes.
All right, motion carries. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Motion and a second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned.
Thanks, team.
Thank you.